I'll sing you a song about a traveling man. He was born in Tennessee. He made his living stealing chickens and anything else he'd see. Well, the police got right after that fool. He sure did get over the road. No matter how fast the freight would pass, that fella would get on board. I'm singing, traveling man. He must have been a traveling man. Traveling fool, fastest fellow in the land. Traveling man, he's known for miles around. Well, he didn't get enough, nor he didn't get caught till the police shot him down. This traveling man's mother sent him to the spring to get a pail of water, and the distance that he had to go was about 2.25 miles. Well, he went and got the water all right, but he stumbled and fell down. He run back home, got his mother's other pail, caught the water before it hit the ground. I'm singing, traveling man. He must have been a traveling man. Traveling fool, fastest fellow in the land. Traveling man, he's known for miles around. Well, he didn't get enough, nor he didn't get caught till the police shot him down. This traveling man went on the big Titanic to sail the ocean blue. Come up on deck, saw the big iceberg, and overboard he flew. Well, the white folks all come up on deck, said the fella must be a fool. But when the Titanic went down, he was shooting craps in Liverpool. I'm singing, traveling man. He must have been a traveling man. Traveling fool, fastest fellow in the land. Traveling man, he's known for miles around. Well, he didn't get enough, nor he didn't get caught till the police shot him down. Some men got into an automobile and got right after this fool. He run from 6 one morning till the next afternoon. And this fella could run so pop-eyed fast that the fire flew from his heels. He set fire to the farmer's crops and corns as he ran through the farmer's field. I'm singing, traveling man. He must have been a traveling man. Traveling fool, fastest fellow in the land. Traveling man, he's known for miles around. Well, he didn't get enough, nor he didn't get caught till the police shot him down. Well, the police sheriff got a 6-gun, shot the fella right through the head. And the news spread over the country that the traveling fool was dead. And they sent down south for his mother, she come straight away in tears. And they opened up the coffin lid and that fella had disappeared. I'm singing, traveling man. He must have been a traveling man. Traveling fool, fastest fellow in the land. Traveling man, he's known for miles around. Well, he didn't get enough and he didn't get caught till the police shot him down. In Lincoln County, a paradise for those outside the law, two cattle factions waged a war that ended in a draw, till Billy and his pod came riding in, young and trigger raw. The kid was cold and arrogant, he'd ride a good horse lame. He played and sang and shot to kill, he loved a poker game. But when Miss Maxwell smiled at him, the kid grew limp and tame. Pat Garrett captured him at last and shackled to his side. The kid was sentenced by a judge to hang until he died. But Billy the Kid, he cursed the law, unbroken in his pride. Like a rattlesnake, his irons clanked across the jailhouse floor, and Bell the God turned at the sound and rushed to bar the door. But Billy brought his handcuffs down, and Bell he knew no more. Bell's holster yielded up its gun, and Billy shot to kill. And Ollinger, the other guard, lay cold and stiff and still, while Billy climbed to the courthouse roof and dropped to the windowsill. Saddle a horse, he thundered forth to the gang a-crowding near, and saddle a pinto horse they did, giving a rousing cheer. And Billy left his dust behind, his mouth set in a sneer. Pat Garrett knew of Billy's love, a following on his trail, and one night when the lovers met, he crept in Billy's shack and hid within the darkness there until the kid came back. Is it the wind in the sparse grass beyond the open door? Or is it Garrett's foot that scrapes across the cabin floor, waiting like death to add a notch to his heavy 44? A shape in sudden silhouette against the Texas night, a face beneath a Stetson hat, pinched and drawn and white, a stab of orange velvet flame, a cry choked in the night. The kid lies crumpled in the dust, Pat Garrett standing near, and death collects the price of death along the last frontier. A year for every life he took, a life for every year. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your mama's bound to die. Oh, my trial soon be over. Too late, my brother. Too late, but never mind. All my trial soon be over. If religion was a thing that money could buy, the rich would live and the poor would die. All my trial soon be over. too late, my brother. Too late, but never mind. All my trials soon be over. Jordan's river is chilly and cold. It chills the body, but not the soul. All my trials soon be over. Too late, my brother. Too late, but never mind. All my trials soon be over. I had a little book was given to me. On every leaf spelled victory. All my trials soon be over. Too late, my brother. Too late, but never mind. All my trials soon be over. Come all you good people, where'er you be, who walk by the land or sail by the sea, come listen to the words of a dying man. I think you will remember them. It was on December the 18th day our ship set sail for America. Our drums and trumpets loud did sound, and then for Boston we were bound. And when to Boston we did come, we thought by the aid of our British guns we could make those Yankees own our king, and daily tribute to him bring. They said it was a garden place, and that our armies could with ease tear down their walls, lay waste their lands, in spite of all their boasted band. We found a garden place indeed, but in it grew many a bitter weed, which soon destroyed our highest hopes and sorely wound the British troops. For to our sad and sore surprise, we saw men like grasshoppers rise. Freedom or death was all their cry. Believe they did not fear to die. When I received my deathly wound, I bade farewell to England's grounds. My wife and child shall mourn for me, whilst I lay cold in America. There will be a great assembly over on the streets of gold that the sinful here on earth will never know. We will go to meet the bridegroom, in the Bible we are told, to that royal wedding feast we all shall go. When we meet at that banquet table, what a feast he will prepare. We will all adorn our wedding garments and meet Jesus in the air. They will come from all the universe, the prophets of our Lord, to be present on that royal wedding day. When the sinful hear the judgment of his everlasting word, in a moment they will all be caught away. When we meet at that banquet table, what a feast he will prepare. We will all adorn our wedding garments and meet Jesus in the air. Oh, brother, now get ready to be present on that day. Saints and angels from all nations will be there. There will be no more sad parting, and no more we'll preach and pray, but rejoice in all the saints and angels fair. When we meet at that banquet table, what a feast he will prepare. We will all adorn our wedding garments and meet Jesus in the air. On September 21st in the year of 1900, a West Indian hurricane came in off the Gulf of Mexico and swamped the city of Galveston, Texas. Over 5,000 people were drowned. 'Twas on a September evening, the sky was dark and gray. The mighty winds and waters were raging all that day. Well, the rich folks in the mansions and the poor folks in the dell, they were swept into eternity, not a story left to tell. And wasn't that a mighty time? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? 'Twas on a September evening, the storm was raging wild. I saw a woman clinging to her husband and a child. Well, they both did battle faithfully, that poor child's life was saved. But they were swept into eternity and they filled that watery grave. And wasn't that a mighty time? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? There was an engineer and a fireman. They say they both were brave. They fought about 10,000 lives if they heard they could save. He said, man, the water's rising and we must get across. They pulled that train to the island side, but the fireman, he was lost. And wasn't that a mighty time? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? Well, the sky was filled with lightning. The storm winds rose and fell. That sure must have been one wicked town, 'cause Mother Nature sure raised hell. Oh, there were gamblers and deacons, black and white they say. Oh, men did mingle freely in a watery grave that day. And wasn't that a mighty time? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? Now when the storm was over next morning and the waters back to roll, 5,000 souls were drowned. Now wasn't that a sight to behold? You can talk about the Mississippi or the Johnson flood of old, but the story of Galveston, it will never, never be told. And wasn't that a mighty time? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? Mighty time. Wasn't that a mighty time? Wasn't that a mighty time that evening when the storm wind struck our town? Child, am my mama's darling child, am my mama's darling child. I cannot marry yet a while. Miner's life is like a sailor's board a ship to cross the wave. Every day his life's in danger, still he ventures being brave. Watch the rocks, they're falling daily. Careless miners always fail. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, heed no operator's tale. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. You've been docked and docked, my boy. You've been loading 2 to 1. What have you to show for working since this mining has begun? Overalls and cans for rockers, in your shanty sleep on rail. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, heed no operator's tale. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. In conclusion, bear in memory, keep this password in your mind. God provides for every nation when in union they combine. Stand like men and work together, victory for you will prevail. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. Union miners stand together, heed no operator's tale. Keep your hand upon the dollar and your eye upon the scale. Payday, payday, oh, payday, payday. At Coal Creek tomorrow, payday. At Coal Creek tomorrow. Payday, payday, oh, payday, payday. Don't come at Coal Creek no more. Payday, don't come no more. Bye bye, bye bye, oh, bye bye, bye bye, my woman, I'm gone. Bye bye, my woman, I'm gone. You miss me, you miss me, oh, you miss me. You miss me. Oh, honey, when I'm gone, you miss me. Oh, honey, babe, when I'm gone. I'm a poor boy, I'm a poor boy, oh, I'm a poor boy. I'm a poor boy, and a long ways from home. I'm a poor boy, and a great long ways from home. He's a rider, he's a rider, oh, he's a rider. He's a rider, but he leaves that rail sometime. He's a rider, but he's gonna leave that rail sometime. Payday, payday, oh, payday, payday at Cold Creek tomorrow. Payday at Cold Creek tomorrow. This 9-pound hammer, it's a little too heavy for my side, baby, for my side. I'm going on the mountain, gonna see my baby. I ain't coming back, no, I ain't coming back. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll too slow. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Roll on, buddy, pull a load of coal. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? It's a long way to Harlan, it's a long way to Hazard, just to get a little brew, just to get a little brew. And when I'm long gone, you can make my tombstone out of number 9 coal, out of number 9 coal. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll too slow. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Roll on, buddy, pull a load of coal. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? This 9-pound hammer, it rings like silver, it shines like gold. Lord, it shines like gold. It's this old hammer that killed John Henry, but it can't kill me. No, it can't kill me. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll too slow. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Roll on, buddy, pull a load of coal. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? This 9-pound hammer, it's a little too heavy for my side, baby, for my side. I'm going on the mountain, gonna see my baby. I ain't coming back, I ain't coming back. Roll on, buddy, don't you roll too slow. How can I roll when the wheels won't go? Roll on, buddy, pull a load of coal. How can I roll when the wheels won't go?
A Texas cowboy on a barroom floor had drunk so much he could hold no more. So he fell asleep with a troubled brain to dream that he rode on the hell-bound train. The engine with human blood was damp, the headlight was a brimstone lamp, an imp for fuel was shoveling bones, and the furnace roared with 1,000 groans. The tank it was filled with lager beer, the devil himself was engineer. The passengers were a mixed-up crew, churchmen, atheists, Baptist, Jew. The rich in broadcloth, poor in rags, handsome girls and wrinkled hags, black men, yellow men, red and white, all chained together, a fearful sight. The train rushed on at an awful pace, and sulphur fumes burned hands and face. Wilder and wilder the country grew, faster and faster the engine flew. Loud and terrible thunder crashed, whiter, brighter lightning flashed. Hotter still the air became, till the clothes were burned from each shrinking frame. Then came a fearful ear-splitting yell, yelled Satan, "Gents, the next stop's hell!" 'Twas then that the passengers shrieked with pain and begged the devil to stop the train. He mocked and he howled and he grinned with glee, he shrieked and he laughed at their misery. "My friends, you've bought your seat on this road, I've got to go through with the whole damned load."
You've bullied the weak, you've cheated the poor, the starving tramp you've turned from your door. You've laid up gold till your purse is bust. You've given play to your beastly lust. You've mocked at God in your hell-born pride. You've stolen, you've plundered, you've cheated and lied. You've double-crossed men and you've sworn and you've stole. Not a one but has perjured his body and soul. So you've paid full fare and I'll carry you through. If there's one don't belong, I'd like to know who. And here's the time that I ain't no liar. I'll land you all safe in the land of fire. There your flesh will scorch in the flames that raw. You'll shrivel and burn from rind to caw. And the cowboy awoke with a thrilling cry. His clothes were wet and his hair stood high. And he prayed as never until that hour to be saved from hell and the devil's power. His prayers and his vows were not in vain, and he paid no fare on the hell-bound train.